Hello, today is Tuesday. We are learning today page 25 of Sotah, makeup for today, and a little later we will learn page 26, which is today's page for Sotah. So the Gemara asks a question, and the question is someone who doesn't live in an observant way, and a woman who acts very, very loose with herself in terms of being with other men, etc., etc. So the question is, do you even need to warn her to make her lose a ksuva? So in the laws of Sotah, we learn that obviously if she was warned and then she was found with someone by two witnesses, they don't know what happened, she goes up to base, then she drinks it. If she passes the drinking of the potion and she comes out fine, then she's married, she has a ksuva, but if not, she loses a ksuva. So the question is, someone who's living a life where they are being with other people, do they have to need warning that the way you're behaving, you're going to lose your ksuva or not? Meaning, do you lose your ksuva without even any warning? So we say, this is the question, do we say because she doesn't live according to the spirit of the way a woman has to behave, therefore she doesn't need any warning? Or maybe you say she does need warning because maybe she'll come back. She will come back and she will deserve to have the ksuba. So we try to bring a few proofs. And the proofs are like this. The proofs are, we learned in our Mishnah that a woman who's engaged, a woman who is Shemeres Yavam, waiting for her husband's brother who passed away without children to marry her, she doesn't drink the water because she can't. They weren't married yet, and she doesn't take a ksuva. So why? So how does she fall into the picture? So we see even though she can't drink, she still gets a warning. Why does she need a warning if she can't drink? So that we answer, no, the warning is there so she would not get a ksuva, because when you get engaged and once she's waiting to be married to the brother, there's a ksuva already there, so she doesn't get her ksuva. So obviously we see that even to lose the ksuva, you need warning, not only to lose your marriage. The Abaye says no. It's not to lose the ksuva, but to make you forbidden to marry her later on. It's not related to the ksuva. Rav Papa says that the reason you're warning her is that when you do get married and something happens, you're able to go back and say, I gave you the warning already before we were fully married. Now, so we bring another, so therefore we don't have a clarity. Then Rava says, come in here. It brings our Mishnah that cases where it's forbidden according to the Torah to be married, a widow to a Kohen Gadol, a divorced person, a woman to a Kohen, a regular Kohen. So there you give warning, but she cannot drink and she cannot take ziksuva because she cannot drink because anyways we can't make her permitted to be with him. She's not allowed to be with him, but still you give warning. Why? To make her lose the ksuva. So we're trying to establish, could you give warning just to make her lose the ksuva, her monetary benefit from a marriage? So the Gemara says, no, the reason we give a warning is that now she can't even be with the person she hid with. Not that she can't, to make her lose the ksuva, but she can't be with the person. So there's no proof that you need warning to lose the ksuva. Perhaps for that reason you need warning and not to lose the ksuva. Because we learned, just like she cannot be married to the person she's married to now, she was hiding, she can't be married to the person she was married to later, she didn't take the potion. Now we'll bring another proof to try to establish, do you need to warn someone just to lose the ksuva? And it says that these are the people that the Jewish court warns on their behalf, someone who became dumb, someone who lost their mind, or someone who was in prison. So there you give them warning, not that you can give them to drink the potion, because only the husband can give them to drink the potion, but the only reason is to make her lose her benefit of the ksuva. So we see that you need to be warned to lose the ksuva, and that's the final decision. So the Gemara says, why didn't everyone come to learn from here that you need to warn to lose the ksuva? Because Bezdin definitely cannot give warning to give her to drink. So we said here we thought Bezdin is a different case. When does Bezdin give a warning? When does the court give a warning? When the husband's not able to give a warning because he went mentally ill, or because he can't talk anymore, he's dumb, or because he's in prison. And therefore the woman is not scared because her husband's not watching her. So therefore the Bezdin has to give her a warning. But generally the husband's around, she's already has a certain fear, she doesn't need a warning. So we teach us not that you need a warning. Now we have another question. Someone who is not careful with how they behave and don't follow the Jewish way, and her husband, and he didn't warn her, and she has an affair. Can he stay married to her or not? Can he stay married? Do we say that it all depends on how the husband feels? If he feels hurt that she had an affair, then he can't be with her. Or do we say we don't look at the individual, we look at the general population? General population, if someone has an affair, they don't want to be married, so therefore he cannot be married. So he says we learn that these are the people that Bezdin warns, the same ones we said, someone who became dumb, someone who became mentally ill, or someone who was in prison. But if you say that the husband, even though she hid with the person, he can keep her and be married to her, so how could Bezdin do something? Bezdin cannot do anything on your behalf that works against you. They go do something on your behalf that works for you. How can Bezdin do something on her behalf that works against her? So the Gemara says most people are happy to follow what Bezdin is doing, and if Bezdin feels that she's not worthy of being with him, even though they'll concur. So therefore, it's not chavin l'adam, it's zachin l'adam. We have another question: what happens if a person warned his wife, but then he decided he's going to forgive on the warning? He says the warning is off. Do we say once you warned, it's too late? Or say that if he takes it off, he can backtrack? So the Gemara brings a proof, and it said these are the ones, the same part of the Mishnah. These are the ones that Bezdin can warn for them. Someone who's dumb, someone who's mentally ill, someone who's in prison. So if a husband is able to forgive on his warning and make it go away, again, it seems like Bezdin, we're taking the woman and making her lose a ksuva on something that the husband may have regretted, and the husband may have taken back. So therefore it becomes chavin l'adam. We're doing something against the husband's best interest. So the Gemara answers that regularly, like we said before, when the person agrees to the way Bezdin handles it, and Bezdin thinks that that's the way it should happen, the person will concur. Now we learn something else. It says we give the person when he goes to Jerusalem, we give him two scholars to go with him to Jerusalem. Maybe he will have relations with her on the way, and if he has relations, the potion doesn't check her. But if the husband is allowed to forgive the wife on his warning, so let him forgive her. Why do we have to? Why do we need to send two scholars? That's exactly why we send two scholars. Because if all of a sudden he says he wants to be with her intimately, we tell him, by the way, just forgive her and you can be with her intimately. The only purpose of going to the Beis Hamikdash if you want to test her to see if she had an affair. But if you want to forgive her and forgive over your warning, then it's not a problem. Then we bring another proof. The Gemara says, the Rabbi Shia says, the three things he was told from the people of Jerusalem. One is that a husband that forgives on his warning is forgiven. That Zaki Mamri, someone who goes and rules against the Bezdin, which he has to get a capital punishment, the Bezdin, the Jewish court, can forgive him. Another one is the Ben Sarmei, a wayward son, who the Torah prescribes has to be given capital punishment, the parents can forgive him. So he said, when I came down to the south, my friends, they agreed on two of those things, but not on the third. They say, Zakim Mamri, someone who rules against the Bezdin, we cannot forgive him because we cannot make more arguments amongst the Jews. We have to keep the peace. So from here, we basically know that a husband could forgive. But the Gemara qualifies and says there's an argument. When we say the husband could forgive, is this only he can forgive before she was found that she hid with someone that he warned, but then before she was found to be hiding with someone? Or even after she was hiding with someone, he can forgive the original forgiveness, and then he has nothing to take her with to Jerusalem because he only can take her to the Beit HaMikdash, to the temple, to test her if there's a warning and a hiding. But if you forgave the warning, there's nothing to take her. The Gemara says the chances are, it seems like that it's according to the opinion that after she hid already, it's too late. The cat is out of the bag. Why? Because we see the Rabbi Yossi, an argument of Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanon. Rabbi Yossi says that a husband is believed to be with his wife until she drinks, by Kal V'chomer, he learns like this: Anida, that her punishment is bekaris, that she gets karis if a man is with a woman, intimate with the woman, that even though it's his wife while she's in this menstrual state, he gets karis, he gets a very strict punishment. Still, no, the husband's allowed to live with his wife. So Sotah, with the whole thing of a Sotah is a negative commandment. It's no karis, it's not being cut off. It's much less severe. So obviously, you're allowed to be with your wife until she drinks. So the rabbi said, the nida, true, it's more severe, but everyone's menstrual process finishes and then they'll let them be together. So it's only for a limited time. So therefore we trust him to be with his wife. But a Sotah, it could be he'll never be together with her. And usually when something is bringing you forever, your Yetzer Hara works much stronger to get you over to sin. But if he can forgive her after he hid, after she was found hiding, so let him just forgive her. Then it's not, a Sotah is never forever forbidden to him. He can forgive her. Obviously, we learn from here that once she hid, you cannot forgive her. You can only forgive her before she hid, according to one opinion. But after she hid, everyone agrees that it's too late. You have to do it. Now we bring down the argument in the Mishnah between Mesham and Beis Hillel that if someone's husband died before he got a chance to bring her up to drink the potion, the Beis Shammai says she gets her ksuvah, she doesn't drink because there's no husband to give her to drink. And Beis Hillel says because she doesn't drink, she doesn't get her ksuvah. So what's the argument? So the argument is based on another argument of theirs. Beis Shammai is of the opinion that anyone who holds a contract of money owing, if you're holding that contract, it's as if the money is in your pocket. So because the woman is holding the ksuvah, so she's like holding the contract in her hand, the husband's estate has to pay for it. But Beis Hillel holds that even though she's holding a contract, the law is if you're holding a contract, you still have to go and prove that the contract is valid. So therefore, she cannot take that step now because the husband died, and therefore she loses, because she has to take a next step, she loses that merit of getting the ksubah. Now we learn Muberes Chaberei, that someone who is pregnant, the wife is pregnant, you're not supposed, someone who your friend's wife who was pregnant, and then you're married, which you're not supposed to. So there we have an argument if she drinks or not. So we said, and also someone who can't have children, or someone who's older, past the child rearing age, or someone whose island is someone who never matured fully. So we say everyone agrees that they don't drink and they don't take a ksuvah. Because it says, I'm sorry, so then there was an argument, it seems in the Mishnah, some say that she takes the ksuvah, she doesn't drink, and some say because she doesn't drink, she doesn't take the ksuvah. But we said that the island is the woman who never matured to be able to have children, never matured as an adult to be able to conceive and have children. Not like she's someone who is who's barren, even though most people are not barren, she's barren, but someone who never even entered into the developing all the parts of the body to be able to have children at all. Everyone is in agreement. She doesn't drink, she doesn't take the ksuvah. Why? But it says in the Torah, when it talks about the story of Sotah, it says that if she comes out clean, she will have children. So someone who is in the category of having children, which is even an older woman, at one point she had children, and a regular woman, most women have children, we always go after most. But island is though a woman who never developed fully, none of them have children. So therefore, because she cannot drink, she cannot get the ksuvah. So then we ask the question where we see the long mission that we bring, and there a brisa that we bring, and there we see that an islandess, that someone who is in that category never developed fully to be a full woman, as a mature woman, it says she either takes a ksuvah or she drinks. So we try to bring a question on the statement. Rav Nachman said that islandess, everyone agrees. Rav Nachman says the truth is that there's an argument in itself in the Mishnah of different Tanoim. Because some say an islandess, someone who is in that category, does not get the ksuvah. Because it says that only someone who can have children does the Torah talking to. But the rabbis say no. That is just saying that someone who could have children, if they went through it, they came out pure, then it will give you better children. It will give you, blessings in your children. Even if you are barren, it will make you have children. But an island, someone who couldn't have children, doesn't get the ksuvah. So Rabbi Shmuel says, so Rabbi Akiva made the statement, well, a second, anyone who's barren, this is the greatest way of having children. Let your husband warn you, be found hidden hiding with someone, do nothing, drink the potion, and all of a sudden you will get children. So therefore, he says it doesn't mean for barren person will get children. He says that just if you're already having children, you'll have stronger children, better children, etc., etc. So therefore, we see this is finishing in an argument. This is the Gemara of today.